Week 6 is officially over. We lost another primetime game. And I know everybody's going to say the loss is solely on DJ, and I don't disagree. And it's mainly because of the decision making. I really don't care that he was throwing passes around 5 yards. At the end of the day, that can still work, especially if you don't have your offensive lineman down the field too far down. Because that play with Slayton should have counted, but just so happened that Andrew Thomas was in the wrong spot. And then, you never know how the game would have went if that play would have counted. But Daniel Jones had a terrible game. He was the second worst QB this week. Surprisingly, Dak Prescott was worse. And a lot of you Giants fans, I know you guys love Dak Prescott. Even at the $60 million, I think they're taking an L with Dak Prescott at $60 million. Yes, he's better than Daniel Jones, but he's only a game manager. Great in the regular season. Will never elevate the Dallas Cowboys to the Super Bowl. Jalen has been to the Super Bowl, and I don't even think that highly of Jalen. You could say, hey, well, Jalen's better than Daniel Jones, and whoop-de-doo. I'd rather have Jaden Daniels, which obviously you know how that played out. He's now on the Washington Commanders, and Washington Commanders, y'all fans need to shut the fuck up, because y'all literally won because we didn't have a kicker. You kicked 7 field goals. I don't want to hear anything from Washington, but they are the division leaders. Had a couple different things went our way, we would be the division leaders, even with sucky Daniel Jones. I've already said that Daniel Jones was mid. I had Daniel Jones fans or Giants fans that like Daniel Jones ask me if I thought he was mid after the Seahawks game, and I said, let's follow up after the Bengals game. And I've been hearing that Giants fans were passing out the Daniel Jones apology form, and I just thought it was hilarious, because I would never apologize or sign anything for Daniel Jones in terms of, saying I'm sorry that I didn't believe in him all the time. I mean, he's my QB1 in terms of, like, I don't have a choice that he's the QB1, and I'm going to support him if he's the QB1, but I'm definitely not going to categorize myself as a Daniel Jones fan or hater. It is what it is with Daniel Jones. A lot of y'all are going to sit there and cry. I've been interacting with fans all weekend. You guys are crying about Daniel Jones being the QB1. You want to bench him because he's not good, which seems like a good problem to have if you want a new QB. If you want Cam Ward and Daniel Jones is losing you games, what's the problem? Why are you guys calling for the bad QB to be benched? And, going around saying that you think Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor, if he was still on the team, would have had us at 5-1. You guys are so dumb. At the end of the day, I get it. You see Daniel Jones have opportunities and he blows it. People are saying that he's staring at his wide receivers and they don't see that from the other quarterbacks, which it's probably because you're not looking for it. But at the end of the day, we didn't really see a lot of Tommy DeVito last year. That was a handful of games. And as soon as they got the tape on him, he really didn't look that good. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor's with the Jets. He'll probably never see the field because more than likely Aaron Rodgers will stay healthy. So if he does, it'll be at the end of the season. But this season is interesting because we're 2-4, just like the Bengals. The Bengals beat us because they're getting healthy on defense. I get that. The Bengals were bad prior to playing us. And so, you play the Bengals and you're like, oh, Jaden Daniels lit them up. But they're slowly getting healthy as the weeks go by. So you can go and look at their roster and see players returning to the defensive line, and Andrew Thomas did not look good yesterday. Yes, Daniel Jones was the worst player on the field, but Andrew Thomas didn't look good. He was getting beat. I mean, even on the interception, that wasn't Andrew Thomas, because I think the guy came from the middle. And Daniel Jones was obviously trying to throw the ball out of bounds. I don't know why you guys keep saying that he was trying to pass the ball. He was trying to throw it at the back of the end zone, and his hand got hit. Shit happens, guys. Shut the fuck up with that shit. You're crying, oh my God, he turned the ball. Oh, we lost the game. Yes, that was one of the plays that needed to not happen for us to win the game. But so was the play where the excellent defense allowed Joe Burrow to run into the end zone. That was just as bad as the interception. Yes, they performed better than Daniel Jones as a unit, but that's an entire unit. They still didn't recover the fumble. I still think the defense was good, but they didn't recover the fumble. That could have changed the game. Maybe you still got to rely on Daniel Jones, who was terrible, on that primetime game, as he usually is. We know the deal with Daniel Jones already, but there are a couple of things that happened that wasn't on Daniel Jones. It's not his fault that Tyrone Tracy slipped on a third down. You can't blame that one on Daniel Jones, man. Shit happens, bro. It's not just Daniel Jones when we lose these primetime games. Yes, you could say he's the main culprit, man, but it's like everything that could go wrong goes wrong, because how the fuck does Tyrone Tracy slip on the third down? Because if he doesn't slip on that third down, we might be talking about how we just beat the Bengals. So, you know, those are things that we need to consider, man. A lot of y'all are overreacting. Y'all want Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock to start because you think they're better. Oh, great, they're better. Oh, let's just say you're right and we win more games and we can't draft those top 3 quarterbacks from the next draft. Then look, how dumb do you look? You know, it's like, okay, you were right about Daniel Jones, but then you miss out on the top quarterbacks from the next draft. So I don't know, guys. I think we're just going to have to let Daniel Jones ride out as long as possible. And if we're in a position to draft another quarterback in the top 3 quarterback range, because I'm not a fan of yours. I understand that he's a good quarterback, but if we got him in the 2nd round, I'd be happy with that. But I don't want Quinn Ewers with a 1st round pick just because I don't like Daniel Jones. That's how a lot of you guys are thinking, which is kind of dumb. But the other 3 guys that I think are in front of him, Cam, Sanders, and the Alabama quarterback, I would draft them. I don't know if the Giants would do it though, but I would draft them. But it's too early to be talking about the draft. We got the Eagles next week. The Eagles aren't a scary team to me, but they are getting healthier. At one point, they were missing their wide receivers, and that's kind of like when you would want to play the Eagles. You want to play the Eagles when they're hurt because they're already better than us healthy. It would have been the same for the Bengals. You want to play the Bengals earlier when Jaden Daniels got them because they had injuries. But we got them as they were healthy. And I told somebody that we were the Bengals get right game, and he says we're everybody's get right game. But that didn't work out well for the Seahawks. They went and played the 49ers and got their ass whooped. So we're not everybody's get right game. Didn't work out for the Seahawks, and it doesn't work out for the Browns. You could say the Browns don't got a good quarterback, but the Seahawks supposedly have an elite quarterback in Geno Smith, and that elite quarterback lost to mid Daniel Jones. So, you know, I get it. We're not happy we lost, but sometimes y'all need to chill out and just take it week by week, man. It's still early in the season. You get to week 11, you can be all doom and gloom because it's week 11. It's like you are what you are by week 11, but let's just see what happens the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then we can talk about Daniel Jones replacements a little bit more.